welcome to Lilybug's Library. My name's Linda, or welcome back. So I was sitting here waiting to start the video, and it's like I'm looking at my face, and I put on different foundation this morning. Kind of makes me look like I have a suntan. So don't know if that's a winner, but anyway, we'll continue. So just wanted to wrap up July with you. Can you believe we're into August already? So just had a few that we hadn't discussed yet. I feel like it was a really good reading month. I'm not sure how many cozies I read, but probably around 13. So yeah, I was happy with that. So the first one was Canyons, Caravans, and Cadavers by Tanya Kappas, and it's, I believe, the sixth in the Campers and Criminals series. So in this one, Mae West gets, I think it's the key to the city or the key to something. It doesn't really say, but I'm pretty sure it was like the key to normal or an honorary degree or something, something fancy. And so she's excited about that. And then they want her to teach an economics course at the local high school, just on how to start a small business because she got normal kind of back up and running, or got the campground back up and running, Happy Trails. And so she agrees to do that. And she's, kind of meeting the teachers that are there and talking to them. And one of them is the coach of the archery club. But he's staying at Mae's campground. He's had a falling out with his wife, and the next thing you know, he's been killed. So it's up to her to try to figure out who it was that killed him and to kind of keep an eye on things when she's at the school to see if there's anyone there who had it in for him. So I enjoyed it. I would give it 3 out of 5 stars. It's one of those ones where it was good at the time I was reading it, but it's out of all of the ones that I've read out of Campers and Criminals, it was a little bit forgettable, but still 3 out of 5 is good. The next one was Death by Chocolate Lab, and that one is the first in the Lucky Paws Pet Sitting Mysteries, and it was by Bethany Blake. And in this one, Daphne Templeton uh, is she takes in different dogs, and she walks them, and sometimes she'll keep them for a couple of days if the owners need her to, and she just loves all things dogs. And I believe she's staying with her sister. Yeah, I'm sure she is staying with her sister, and her sister runs a farm, and so that's all well and good, but her sister's boyfriend ends up getting killed, and she's her sister is accused of killing him because he, you know, all the evidence points to her. So it's up to Daphne to try and figure out what happened and to get her sister off the hook. And of course, there's a very handsome detective that that helps with all of that. And Daphne she's a bit of a hot mess, like her car runs out of gas, and she's, you know, really doesn't have her stuff together. But in some ways, it's infuriating for the detective, and in other ways, I think he finds it sweet. So, really enjoyed the story and would definitely read another one because um, less for the mystery and more for that romantic element between the two that I think is starting to percolate. But the mystery was good too. So, I would give that one 3.5 out of 5. So the next one was Sleight of Paw, which was by Sophie Kelly, and it's number 2 of the Magical Cat series. So this one I absolutely loved. It's got librarian Kathleen Paulson in it again, and she has her 2 cats, Owen and Hercules, who are magical, and one can disappear at will, and end up being around like he's invisible, but he is still there. And then the other one can actually walk through like closed doors. So are definitely magical. So with this one, there's an elderly woman named Agatha who ends up getting killed, and it's up to Kathleen and the cats to figure out who on earth would want to kill her and why. And so it's she has to. She has a couple of suspects who she really likes, and she's hoping it's not them, and so she's really trying to get to the bottom of it. And again, there is I can't remember the name of the police officer in that one. Um, yeah, and it doesn't say. But she has a good relationship with them, but at the same time, they really don't want her meddling in things. And they have no idea her cats are magical. No one does. So, really enjoyed that one. I would give that one 4 to 5 stars. So the next one is another cat one. It was, like I said, I was reading Pet Cozy, so there's lots of pets. But the next one is Purrs and Poison, and it's by L. Ren Burke. And really enjoyed this one. Wasn't sure I would, because the cat in this one is quite snarky. And the first couple of pages, it was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this cat. But he grows on you, like most cats do. And with this one, the cat's name is Brighton, and his owners or his people are Irene, who has fibromyalgia, which I thought was interesting. I don't think I've ever read about a character that had fibromyalgia, and the doctors seem to think that's probably one of the things that I have. So it was interesting to read that from her perspective. And then the other person who is involved, his name is Todd, and I think he's the Irene's cousin, I think. They call each other cousins. I'm not sure if it's actually her cousin, but anyway, they take care of Brighton, and one of the people that Brighton goes to see during his day is runs a chocolate and ice cream shop, and he sits in her, she's got a little bed for him in the back, and he stays back there, and it's one of the people he enjoys. So she ends up getting killed, and Brighton and Todd end up finding her before she's even dead. But she's, does end up that way. So then it's up to Brighton and Todd and Irene to try and get together and figure out who it was that killed her and why. So that was it was really interesting. Like I said, I enjoyed some of it a lot. The only thing I kind of wish was a little different is I found, like, I like having the talking cat, or I mean, it's not really a talking cat. It's like they have a psychic connection to the cat so they can hear what he says. And I like that, but I did feel that the cat took over the story. The cat was the sleuth, where usually the human is the sleuth and the cat is the sidekick. So in this one, definitely the cat was the sleuth and the humans were the sidekicks. So I'd give that one 4 out of 5. So the next one was number 3 in the Chatty Corgi Mysteries, and this one was called A Cold Nose for Murder. And this is one of my favorite series. I really enjoy this one. The dog's name is Oliver, and his human's name is Emma. It's pretty bad when I have to look up the human, but I always know the dog. So Emma is sitting in a pub that she goes to fairly often. It's probably the only one in town, or one of the few. And so Oliver is there with her, along with her man that she's been dating, Brian, and they're there for, if you're old enough to know this, but like a Geraldo Rivera moment where they're opening this entryway in the basement of the pub that hasn't been open for years and years. So they do all the things they need to do. They break into it and they open it up, and in there they find a vintage motorcycle as well as a body. And so they don't know, it probably happened 40 years ago or so, but they don't know who it was that killed this person, or whether they locked him in there, when he was dead or when he was alive. They just don't know. And the motorcycle supposedly was stolen from friends of hers. And so they are definitely the prime suspects. But as Emma and Oliver start to dig into it, it turns out there's a lot of people in town that could have done this. So it was a very, I won't say complicated because that makes it sound like a bad thing, but it was a very intricate web of characters that and suspects. And so that was, you definitely weren't going to guess right away what was going on and who was actually at fault. And Oliver is just such a great character. He's, he tries to keep Emma on track and make sure she gets in her walks for his sake and hers. And he's just adorable. So, he's talking to the neighborhood cat, and he's, sniffing around for the fox in the garden. And I just really love the character. So that one I would give 5 out of 5. So those are the ones that I finished up the month with. So that was great. And a long time ago, I had started doing like what I'm watching, what I'm reading, those sort of things. I think it lasted maybe 2 videos. So I'm bringing it back. So we'll try it today. We'll see how often I actually remember to do this. So what I'm watching. So with TV, we watch a lot of cooking shows. Wonderful husband and I. Um, and a lot of competition shows, I guess. So we've been watching Ugliest Houses in America, which we found pretty interesting and amusing. And we've also been watching Monk, which is a cozy mystery show, and Silo, which is I guess you'd call it a sci-fi, fantasy, sci-fi, I guess. And it's really good. We have read all the books for Silo by Hugh Howey, and so now we're into watching the show, which is so far staying very close to the books. So I like that. So yeah, we're very involved in that one. And we've watched, a lot of summer baking and those sort of things. So some of it mindless entertainment, some a little more in depth, but we're enjoying all of it. And then, of course, what I was reading was Pet Cozies up until just a day or two ago. What I'm making, well, today I'm going to do my best to make espresso brownies, which I bought some espresso powder. I keep wanting to say espresso, but it's not, it's espresso powder, and I'm going to try those. Now, sometimes I can't stand very long in the kitchen, so usually it's a couple minutes in the kitchen, and then I sit down and do some mixing and things sitting, and then back up to the kitchen, and it works. And then what I've been listening to, a lot of different things on YouTube, mostly YouTube. I haven't listened much to Spotify lately, but I've been listening to a lot of music reaction videos. Um, for one thing, I like the music, but I also like seeing someone's reaction to a song that I really love. So I've been listening to a few of those, and of course, booktubers. So then, what I've been thinking about, decluttering my craft room. So it's a big job, and I've been uh, trying to take little steps towards doing it. Yeah, it's getting there. But really, I can't do very much at one time, so it's usually like one drawer or one box or something a day. So I don't know, could be ages before I do that. But anyway, and what I'm looking forward to, we actually have friends from New Brunswick coming. So looking forward to seeing them. We usually only get to see them a couple times a year. So I'm excited about that. All right, so that is what's going on in my world, and I hope you're having a great day. And hopefully, you can find something fun to read and watch on TV if that's what you want to do. So, have a good day, friends. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.